Welcome back to Your Road to Home, your guide to the people and places that make the Carbon Valley so great. I'm Kendra Badgekar with LPT Realty, here with
Maxine Carey at Vector Bank, and we are here with Liz, and we are here at Wozani Farm in Frederick, Colorado. And I am super excited to be out here because this is my wheelhouse, sitting in the garden with the flowers. So welcome, Liz.
Thank you. I'm so excited that you guys are here. Welcome to my house.
I know. Thank you for having us.
beautiful.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. So tell us about Wozani Farm.
Yeah, we moved here. We spotted this little land of heaven. It had so many trees, and we saw the fall coming soon sign, and we drove in and we fell in love. It was just magical.
When was that? What year was that?
2018. It was near the end of 2018. And so it's a long story of how we actually got here. But we did get here, and we felt like it was just a gift, big miracle that it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so we felt like we needed to somewhat give back to the community, because this just felt like this was too good to keep to ourselves. So 2019 was our first year growing.
Oh, wow.
And we grew vegetables that year with a side of flowers.
Did you have a farm stand then? Or
We
was it just for your family?
were at the Frederick Farmers Markets
Okay.
that year.
Very
Okay.
cool. I'm so sad they don't do
Yeah.
those anymore.
Yeah, those were so
It
fun.
was fun.
And at that point, I think they were running them every 2 weeks, or it was about around there.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was everybody would buy vegetables because they needed to, but they would gravitate to the flowers and smell them and tell me a story. And that's when I realized that I needed to be on flowers.
Oh, I love that.
I want to speak to the heart. I'm so grateful people want to be healthy and eat vegetables,
Right.
but rather come and tell me a story about your great grandma growing these flowers in your own garden or giving them.
And then
to someone
nostalgia of
special.
it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it definitely became the story. So 2020 was when we really started getting into flowers.
And had you done flowers before?
I grew vegetables many years of my life,
Mm-hmm.
and flowers were just something I loved. And so I always had a side cutting garden for myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I did an internship at She Grows in Arvada,
Mm-hmm.
where I got to study how a flower farmer does things. And that blew my mind.
Oh, I bet.
And that's when I realized I could do this professionally. I thought that maybe I would just grow some flowers on the side, give to my friends, and maybe some people that deserve flowers that can't get flowers. I just thought it would be a little side thing that I love doing. And then it became into what the farm stands for right now.
Wow.
Well, tell us a little bit about Wozani, because there is a bit of a story to that, the name, right?
The name, yep. Wozani means, in South Africa you often hear the term Woza, which means come here. And so Wozani means to come and together, but it's in two languages, both Xhosa and Zulu.
Mm-hmm.
It means the same thing. And we have 13 official languages in South Africa, and that's where I'm from. And so I wanted to incorporate a bit of my homeland and a bit of where I come from.
Yep.
And then again, it was this way of just, we want people to come to the land and feel healed by nature and being outside and the birds and the trees. And
So you do want
flowers.
people to come and gather at the farm?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. We haven't quite figured out large events just yet, but we definitely do U-Picks, and that starts in the summer, where people can come to the annual fields and just pick whenever they want to.
That's amazing.
Eventually, I would love it to be some sort of ecosystem where people just walk onto the farm and enjoy the gardens. And when we show you in the back, we've got all of our perennial fields there, and they're a little bit more whimsy.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So where can people get that information to know when they can start coming? Because you just let them come freely, or you have special events for that?
Yep. So Saturday mornings,
Okay.
We're starting June 21st, and that would be Saturdays 9 to 12. So it's just a 3-hour window at the moment.
Okay.
We're thinking about opening up a Friday evening as well, where we'll be sending out an email to all of our subscribers and see what they would hope for. But at the moment, it's just Saturday mornings, and it's throughout the summer, and then we close again at the frost.
Very
the
cool.
first frost.
Are these subscribers, should they follow you on Instagram or where should they find you at?
Email.
Emails,
So
okay.
on our website,
Okay.
you can become an email subscriber.
Perfect. We will put that link in the comments. Okay, great.
Perfect. Yeah, I've kind of stepped back a little bit from social media, so it's a little bit hard to get a hold of me unless it's via email or text.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And we are at the entrance of what might be a cut garden, right?
Yep. Yeah. To expand a bit, so this is our annuals, and this is what we start by seed every year.
Oh, wow.
They are 50-foot beds, and I think this year we have 12 of them.
Okay.
And the very first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows are all for U-picks. So they're all going to have these pretty arches over with vining hyacinth bean vines over there.
Oh, beautiful.
And they're just little right now, but they'll be up in July. And these will be the gardens that people can come freely and cut from whenever they want to.
fun.
Can they buy a vase from you, or do they bring their own, or how does that all work? Do you wrap it?
Yep, we would just have either mason jars available for people to pick up, or they can bring their own, and that will
Okay.
be part of the U-Pick. And we have a page on our website that leads you to that, and you'll go into the farm stand, pick up a pair of snips. It will all be self-led this year.
Very cool.
We would do a couple where I lead the events this year, and those will be a bit more of a designer specialty U-Pick, where we will cut, and we'll cut from the whole farm, including our dolly in the back, and then we will come back and arrange where it's led.
Oh, we got to come do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to come
And
do
you,
that.
yeah,
That's
and you have
fun.
classes throughout the year.
We do this year. We haven't done as many because Raina's got the.
Oh yeah, Rainer took over
Yes,
that.
yes.
We did learn that when we
Yep.
Yes.
But in the future, we will be doing more again. We're just only going to stick to outside this year, so we'll have a fun outdoor events this year.
That's great.
In the winter, though, next year or this coming winter, we will have inside events again, and there will be like polymorph earrings.
So fun.
Yep, and what else have we done? We've done candle making.
Oh,
We've done wreath making. So we try and do things that incorporate farm goods.
Yes.
And it's a lot of fun.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
you need a dried Christmas tree
Oh.
from the garden, from dried. I watch a YouTuber. She does
Yeah.
She does a dried Christmas tree from all the things that are dried from the
I
farm.
love that idea. And so you just make it beautiful because everything I grow, I try to make sure that there's
Yeah.
something I can dry as well.
Yeah,
So by the end of the year, my entire garage is covered with dried goods.
yeah.
And that is so fun.
That is a really good idea.
Yeah.
That might be. We can talk about ideas after.
Yes.
Yes.
I love that.
That's awesome.
That is so fun. So what? Tell us a little bit more about you and your homestead here, because are you guys still homeschooling? You've got a
Yeah.
beautiful big family.
Thank you. We have 4 kiddos.
Yes.
When we moved
And
here,
you have some dogs. They're coming to
and-
visit us.
Yeah, this is Lady. When we moved here, we had 3 kids under 3, and have had a couple years until we had our last baby. And we have 2 precious puppies. And in the back, we have a horse and some chickens, turkeys, guinea fowl.
Aw.
I know. We don't have pigs right now or sheep. We're in the spring, so we're in the turnover space where we shift from one animal to the other. And because we do homesteading, some animals land up in the freezer,
Awesome.
and then we bring in a new family again.
Do
Love
you
that.
start your annuals from seed? So you're doing that in January, and then you
Yeah.
supply some flower stands and stuff, right?
Yep. So what we do is we start all the annuals from seed. There's only one annual that we buy in, and those are Lysianthus.
Oh yeah,
And
because
those
they are.
ones are tricky to start. So we do a couple plugs where we buy in, and then all of our extras. Like this year, my CSA members have got to take some extras. My interns have taken some. When the sale opens in June, when our farm stand opens, we'll have some extra starts there. And then I'm also working on a sensory garden at the kids' school. And we're not homeschooling right now. We have in the past, but the kids go to LCS in Longmont.
Okay.
And we're working on a sensory garden there. So a lot of my starts that I've started are going there. And that's where I was this morning. I was
Awesome.
working on that
At
a
the,
bit.
at the garden.
Very
So you
cool.
do a CSA. I totally forgot you did that. So tell us a little bit about how that works and how you can get involved.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's too late for this year.
Yes. Sorry, pause a second.
No.
It's okay.
Hey kiddos, we're busy doing an interview and it's being recorded.
You guys
Oh,
need to be
you're on
quiet.
camera.
Oh, go, go, go.
Okay, we'll start that one again.
Perfect. Do you want to re-ask or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you do a CSA. Tell us a little bit about that. Is it too late to get in for the season, or
Yeah.
how does that all work?
Great question. So our CSA is a community shared agriculture.
Yep.
And some people know it because of vegetables. Other people are very unfamiliar with it. And so what it is you prepay a bulk amount and then you receive weekly for us flowers. And so we have multiple choices. We've got a full year CSA and that sells out really quickly.
Oh, I bet.
Like, I'm shocked. I think we only always open 5 slots and they're gone within minutes.
Wow.
The kids, is that too noisy?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
That'll be fine.
I don't know what they're doing. And then we have our spring CSA, which this year was our first time doing it. I wanted to see how that would work. So we only did a short little 3-week CSA and that worked really well too. It sold out really quickly as well.
What's in the spring CSA? Just tulips, daffodils?
So we actually didn't do any tulips and daffodils this spring. We typically do, and I was hoping for them, but they all failed this year.
Oh.
And that's
Yes, that
Mother
happens.
Nature.
It
Yeah.
is, yeah.
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 So our spring CSAs actually started a little later, but they got ranunculus, peonies, anemones,
Oh, wow.
and then some of our other spring flowers that we have that are perennials.
Lovely.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
So we have our full year, we have our spring, and then we have our summer and fall. And those two are not fully booked yet. So I think we have some spaces in them.
Okay.
They both are 6 weeks, the summer and the fall. And summer is starting June 21st.
Okay.
And that is when hopefully all of these summer annuals will be in. And then the fall is really dahlia heavy.
Oh, yeah.
So the fall CSAs have a lot of dahlia in them.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And do they pick them up here or do you deliver your CSAs?
They pick them up on Saturday mornings.
Okay.
So we have the CSA pick up the same time as our farm stand is open. So they can always peruse, walk around the farm, grab something to eat. Sometimes Talitha sourdough bread is here. And we have some other fun local artisans that sell in the farm stand
Awesome.
on a Saturday morning.
Okay.
That's very cool.
And that's starting June 21st.
June 21st.
Okay.
Yeah, 9 a.m.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite flower or top 3?
I really, 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 really love my perennials. And so flax always does it for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not the best cut flower. It does last in a vase, but every day a little bloom opens and then it dies that same day and then the next day another bloom opens and it's those little purpley blue ones over there.
Oh.
I
They're
didn't.
native.
Yeah, I have some of those around my farm too. I didn't even realize.
I
that's
didn't
what
realize that was flax.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you get flax seeds from
Yeah.
and linen from is
Yeah.
all from this gorgeous little plants.
Oh wow.
And it looks very dainty, but it is so hardy because we all know that linen
Yeah.
is really hardy.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is why I probably love it more because of its story behind it. But that's, if you ever ask me, I really love flax.
And does
Very
it
cool.
self-seed?
It's,
Is it robust like that?
I wish that it was more robust. It's not
Yeah.
like a yarrow
Okay.
or a cosmos where it does. It's no, but it does grow bigger every year and it will drop if you're watering, it will self-seed a bit better.
Okay. So you have to water some of yours.
I will.
Yeah.
I will start watering it more.
Yeah.
Ah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're
Very
my
cool.
favorite. And we just sowed a scarlet flax this last year. And I'm planting all of those in the sensory garden at the school, but I have never seen a prettier flower.
Right. A
Yeah.
scarlet color. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that you
but
mention it, we see those on our hikes all the time too. So yeah, it is.
And what's
Yeah.
the
native
red?
wild.
Mahogany,
the red
slender?
behind there,
Is it?
it is Atriplex, which I think
Oh.
is a mahogany splendor.
Yeah.
I think that's another name for it. Yep. It was one of those that are edible in their youth. So all of this, but as they grow up, they produce beautiful seeds that we use in our bouquets.
Okay.
But all of this is self-seeded. So what I did was I just weeded and left that row over there.
I've tried to grow that and I don't know why. I just have a hard time.
Just grab one of my seed heads one day when you visit me in the fall and drop it in your garden, and you will be sorry that you ever tried to grow it, because it will not leave you alone. So that's why it's everywhere. In fact, all of that's on there too is it as well that we didn't seed. It seeded itself.
It just found its way.
Yeah. So we just kept it.
That's the beauty of nature.
Yep.
It's beautiful here.
It is very
I
beautiful
could just
here.
sit here forever.
Yeah,
Thank
it's so
you.
peaceful.
Yeah.
That's somebody once told us that they wish that we had more seating. That was their request. So over the years, we have tried to just place chairs and benches around the farm,
Oh, I love
because
that.
it is just a place that you want to sit.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And
And
spend
if you
some time.
listening have seating you need to get rid of, here's
Yeah.
a great place where
Yeah.
you could donate it.
Yes, absolutely.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah, thank you.
Should we do some rapid fire and get to know Liz a little bit better?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Are you a book reader or podcast listener?
Podcast listener.
Okay. And you
Yeah.
do that while you're gardening?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Do you have a favorite that you're listening to right now?
Okay, great question. I've got about 3 or 4 that I bounce around, and it depends on if I'm in a mood for enjoyment or information, knowledge.
Yep.
Slow gardening or slow flowers is one of my favorites. They are a collection of micro flower farmers, just like us, but they believe in no tilling and no pesticides and all organic, and that's what we strive for too. And so that's one of the podcasts I love. Let's Grow Girls is a British podcast, also about growing cut flowers, but they're in England, so they come from like allotments and grown in pots. And so it's very more familiar for like a family gardener, and it's so fun, and they just banter. So that's a very fun one, and of course their accents is great, so I love listening to that. And then on the other side is like criminal, where it's not like true crime, it's not very dark, but it just talks about like criminals now or in history, and whether they were like a good criminal or bad. So it's really fun. Like I've learned
is
the
interesting.
weirdest knowledge about people who fake lottery tickets to people saving people in slavery. So it's got that huge window of what it covers, and it's always very interesting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's the name of your sourdough starter? Do you name it?
That's a good question.
That is a great question. Rainer is a sourdough bread maker.
He is.
He is.
Okay.
So that's my husband.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So he named the sourdough starter?
He would have named it. I don't know the name of it.
Okay.
And if you know Raina and I, and you start to get to know us, I'm inside the house like 5 to 10% in a day. And so if the house looks beautiful, it's because of him.
Oh.
And the garden is me.
Oh,
And so
very good.
I'm typically outside, and he is the one making the house turn. So if anything is ever baked,
It's Raina.
it's him.
Okay.
If anything is eaten, it's probably me.
You gotta have a healthy
You're a good
balance.
team. You're a good team.
You gotta have a healthy balance.
We are. Yeah.
All
yeah.
right,
In
so-
fact, I was out in the flower field this morning at 6:30 a.m. I think I had started, and he found me around 7:30 with a bowl of eggs and salmon and lettuce and sprouts. It was a fantastic
Oh my
breakfast.
gosh.
Oh, that's amazing.
So-
That's amazing.
He's a pretty spectacular man, because I forget to eat if I'm not fed.
Yep.
Too.
Yep.
We might have to interview Rainer again. We have some additional questions for him. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you'll see his podcast coming up here pretty soon. Or guide.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So mountains or beach?
Mountains or beach? Always beach.
Beach.
Yeah. I we're here because Rainer has to be here for work, because this is, I love Colorado and their rules for NPs, and he can have his own practice because of that. But else, I would have somehow managed to pull us all to the beach.
You would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, we're glad you're here, though.
Thank you.
So, do you like to travel? Being from South Africa, like, do you go back home often? Do you like to travel?
Yeah, I don't.
Probably harder with
I
kids.
don't like to travel, but I love to be back in South Africa. But traveling itself is a journey, and you have to really pull my hand very hard to leave the farm at any time.
I understand.
But I do love to be at the beach. So South Africa
Yeah.
is beach, and I'm, if I can be anywhere else, it would be there.
Yeah. What's your favorite activity in the Carbon Valley for your family?
That's a great question.
Besides the farm, of course.
Besides the farm, when the kids were a little bit smaller, it was the splash pad right here.
Yes,
and
in
then the
Dacono.
Dacono splash pad,
Yeah.
because there is nothing nicer than having some water.
Yes.
But our absolute favorite thing is just to go into the mountains.
Very
and we're
cool.
so lucky to have the mountains. I was just looking, we can see the mountains right through like
Yes.
a little
Yeah.
peak of trees.
You can,
Yeah.
yes.
And that's just our. But then if you come to food, we like a little main street in Frederick.
Oh, yes.
So Gabe's, or it was Peel, but now that taco place that's there.
Yeah, yeah, Lola's Kitchen.
And,
Yeah.
Yep, and Miko's has become, oh my goodness, Miko's has become a big favorite of the family.
Same, yes.
Yeah.
Their pastries, I might not be able to eat them, but we stopped at Miko's today and got everyone some
Got it,
pastries.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yum.
Including my sweet husband, it's still in the coffee.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
Well, Liz, thank you so much for inviting us out to the farm. We're going to take a little tour of the dahlias, or the back garden,
Yep.
right?
Awesome.
But thank you so much for letting us come out
Yeah.
to the farm. We loved seeing this little slice just right here in Frederick, and
Thank
it's
you.
so close. So come out and see Liz
Yeah.
at Wozani
Yeah.
Farm, June 21st.
June
The farm-
21st, we're open 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And
That's great.
yeah.
We're looking forward to
That's,
it.
yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks so much, everyone. Hope you are enjoying your day and your summer. Look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah.
Bye
thank
for
you.
now.
Bye.
The honey roasted over here, it never gets tall. Like this is tall. Plants over some annuals over here. And if anything comes back, they come back. But if they don't,
In there, and we've got our orchard over there.
So